the most important tool I'll talk to you about today is that we use uh, uh, today to explore and to get all these things that I just talked about is journey map. So basically, what are the journey map? Journey maps are actually the visual representation of the whole user journey. So whenever you are planning for any product, right, and you want to deliver and you want to make a really good product, you need to understand your users, right? And how can you understand your user is uh, by understanding their journey, by understanding their journey from the point A till the point B to achieve their goal for which they are using your product. So that's why we use you journey maps, right? And journey maps are in comes in very like a lot of shapes, a lot of formats, right? And you can create your own format as well. But I'll be showing you what I use, and which is a very generic thing, and what all things that I have, and little bit also tell you about how can you create those kind of what kind of methods you can use to get those kind of findings that you'll use in your journey map. So one question is like when to use this journey map. So one is like you can use any time, like any time in your whole product life cycle. So a product has a life cycle. So a product, when right from its ideation phase where you are thinking about what features should I have, what problems will my product solve. So right from the ideation phase till it goes live, you can use this journey map anywhere, anytime. It will plug in anywhere and it will help you creating an impactful product for your user. And who all are involved in creating this journey map is your whole team. It includes your product managers, leadership, your end users, SMEs. SMEs are nothing but your these people who are well trained, who are using similar products, who knows your users like from way back, right? So every time, sometimes in our companies, you cannot reach to end users. So basically, we talk to the subject matter experts who are our SMEs, who actually tell us about everything. They know detail about your users. They know detail about your products, what they are using, what they are not using, and what products you can use to create such kind of journey map is. You can create your own. You can even use your PowerPoint presentation to create your journey map, but there are few products who are in market who actually give you templates, ready-made templates like Miro, Lucidchart, Samply, UXprecia. So these all are free to use. I mean, there's a paid version as well, but you can actually like register as a free user and you can use them to create these journey maps. Quickly, like what are the benefits of the journey map? So as I mentioned, like even like whatever we talked about, right? To create all those things, to know all the pain points, to create an impactful UX and UI, first you need to understand the users, right? So that's why we built a journey map. And why specifically journey map? What journey maps tells us? So journey maps tell us the whole, whatever the identify users pain points. So whatever pain points, if a user currently using any of the product, what are the still the pain points that they are experiencing? Is it too bad? Is it very tough to use? So those kind of things. It tells the potential bottlenecks in a whole system. So when you talk about the whole journey of a user to achieve a goal, right? So you're talking about the whole surroundings, whole. So you will come to know that, oh, this is the point where a user is getting stuck in the whole system, or this is the point where a user is going through the most painful task. So you have to take care of those points there. It gives a create one shared source of information. As I told you, like everyone contributes to create this kind of journey. So there is one source of information where everyone, even the product managers, your developers, and everyone can go and refer it back to. It covers all the touch point of a user. So when you're talking about the whole journey, right? So when, like, just for an example, so a journey of a user to order a food, right? So let's say we'll talk about a user right from starting when he's watching a advertisement and he sees some kind of food advertisement, and that's where that thought comes up in your mind that today even I should eat something good, right? So and then from that point till you get the food in your hand, right? So let's say when we talk about you use Swiggy, you use Zomato, and that you order a food and that the food delivery guy comes to your home, he delivers your food. So when I get my food and when I start eating, that's the goal that I achieved, right? So when we are talking about the whole journey, so in the whole journey, like what all touch points I did. I saw a TV commercial, I used my phone, I had a word with a customer care executive, let's say if my order is late, right? So those all are touch points. I received the food from the delivery boy, so those all are touch points. Understand user goal and behavior. So as I mentioned, like when you are ordering a food, right, understand those goals, that what user want to achieve and what behavior he goes through, and whatever in that journey, whatever unnecessary touch points that that you can minimize. So there are different kinds of maps that we talk about, and we use all of these in our uh, UX methods when we want to see and when we want to uh, get out such kind of result, when we want to know about users, right? So like the first one is journey map that I'm already talking about, right? There is experience map also. So the experience map, the only difference is even that talks about experience of a user, but it's bigger than a journey map. Like it talks about multiple users, not just about one user, right? When a journey maps talk about me, I want to order a food, so we'll talk about my journey. But when we are designing an experience map, we'll talk about the whole journey. So we'll talk about the delivery boy experience also, how he is experiencing. We'll talk about the user, which is I'm who's ordering the food. We'll also talk about the restaurant, right? So how restaurant is getting and receiving the order, they are preparing it. So experience map is a bigger thing, and service blueprint is something which is inside a journey map. So when we talk about one flow and you design the whole end-to-end journey about it, what all different components about service components, what all people are getting involved, what kind of service is getting involved, that is known as a service map. So this is the basic structure of a journey map that if I'll tell you about, like where like on the top we use so as I mentioned that a journey map is only for one user or one user type. So difference between a user and user type is user type, I'm talking about, let's say, young people, so that's a user type. But when I'm talking about a hungry person like me, we're talking about a persona, right? And so we have user picture here, we have user name, we give a fictitious name, we never use a exact user name, and a scenario. So just like how I use my scenario of ordering a food, we have on the right hand side we have a goal. So what kind of goal I want to achieve? A user want to order a food, that's my goal. And what kind of expectation I have, what kind of like the food should deliver within 20 minutes, right? That's my expectation. The second thing is after that we have a chronological order, we have different phases. So the my whole cycle from right from opening an app till receiving a order, we divide that into a different phase, and we actually divide them in different phase and in a chronological order. So like first, again, if I take an example of a food app, I start thinking. So we'll have a pre-order phase where I'm thinking about food, where I'm referring to different restaurants, right? So that's a pre-order phase. Then is a order phase. Then is post-order phase. So like that, we'll divide into different phases. And in that different phases, we'll have a swim lane where we talk about what kind of action a user does, what kind of thoughts he's having, what kind of emotions, right? When I see different food, I really get excited. I really get happy. Wow, it's look yummy. So the kind of photos we should use, and what are the pain points. So we can use those pain points. And as I mentioned, as I mentioned, like uh, you can have your own different format for it. Some people even use photos. Some people even use similar kind of products which are still available. They stick those kind of products here. They put the picture of those kind of things. So you can modify them in a different way. So my last slide will be about like how can you, so you just can't fill these things of your own, right? You need to have some kind of research. You need to talk to people like to go through these. So what kind of features you use, what kind of different research methods you use to get these things. So there are different research methods that you need to perform to create a journey map. And once you have a journey map, you can always go back and refer to it whenever you are designing or whenever you're stuck in somewhere. When you are how you want a kind of empathy, right? Like if a user gets stuck here, how he'll be thinking, right? So every time you just cannot call a user and ask them that, okay, how you're feeling, right? But so in a product, in companies like Flipkart, in company like the previous companies I have had, so we refer to such kind of journey maps where if we get stuck, right, at that moment, at that point, what a user will be thinking. So the first thing when we are talking about user, right, you can create them by, if you have a good user persona. And how you create a user persona is by user interview, by contextual inquiries, by sending surveys. The goals and expectation you can get again through interviewing those users, right? That what are your goals when you are ordering a food? What are your expectations? So just how I mentioned, right? Like I want my food hot. I want my food in 20 minutes. So those are my expectations, right? You can have these kind of phase that I talked about, like pre-order phase, order phase. These you can actually write a proper story. So we have this kind of exercise we called storyboarding, where we actually take a user and we actually depict a story right from starting till we draw a story. So from those story, you can actually pick out those phases of these journey map. And when I talked about like how you are feeling, like how a user feels sad, when a user feels excited, those things you can get through empathy map. So these all are different UX methodologies that we use today. You can always Google them. You can see how to use them, how you can use them, when to use them. So you'll get a lot of articles about it. In case if you have any problem, feel free to reach to me, ask me. And that's at the end. So and that's how like each phase will have different pain points. And in the end, these pain points will be features for your product, will be features for your service, whatever you're providing.